This is Mark Rockefeller of Teton Valley Realty. I'm going to show you a series of video clips of an 87-acre parcel that is on Badger Creek in Teton County, Idaho. As I look down at the creek from the bridge that I'm standing on, and I swing to the south, the bridge runs across the southern end of the property, which sits high on a bluff. Almost all of the property is very elevated with outstanding views. At this point, I'm on Ramel Mountain Road showing you the entry, the access road, which is a 30-foot wide road and utility right-of-way that has both underground electric and telephone right at the property access corner. We're going to go up through, and I'm going to show you the three parcels that this 87-acre parcel has been divided into. At this point, I'm parked on a 60-foot wide road and utility right-of-way that comes off of the Ramel Mountain access road. Again, the road down at the bottom is 22 feet wide on a 30-foot road and utility right-of-way. And I'm looking west, and as I pan across this property that's currently planted in barley, you can see that there's a yellow stake directly in front of me. And I don't think you can make it out unless you zoomed in on your screen, but in the distance, just towards that clump of trees that are in the center there, there is another stake and then a third stake. This property is bisected into three parcels. The one that I'm looking at right now has a great Teton view, they all do. It's about 24 acres. And as I pan south and then southwest, now you're looking at approximately 31 acres. And then as I swing around and look north, you're looking at a 30-acre parcel. Total 87 acres. This property will be for sale collectively in three parcels or individually. I'm now sitting more or less on what I think is an optimal home site for the parcel 1A, approximately 24 acres. You can see it has expansive views looking down the throat of Teton Valley. There's some tree clusters that are shared among these two southern parcels, 1A and 1B. And now I'm panning across showing you 1B. The road and utility right-of-way will come through that yellow stake in the foreground, and then it'll go down to that tree grouping and bisect it. Right here you can see another yellow stake, and that is the stake that is the boundary line that'll run through this group of aspens, separating parcels 1A and 1B. Parcel 1B, about 31 acres, I'm sitting on what I consider to be the lesser of the two home sites that it has. This one's very private. It's nestled in between two groups of aspens, east and this on the west, which is near the boundary at the southwest portion of the property. The property does run down off the mountain into Badger Creek, and Badger Creek runs across the extreme southern end of both parcels 1A and 1B. I'm still on 1B in this set of frames, and this some would argue is the best home site, arguably on the whole property, but everybody's got a different opinion because they're all very attractive. Again, looking down the throat of the valley, the big holes on the right, up against and behind this group of aspens, Badger Creek in the bottom. Approximately 31 acres on parcel 1B. From From this location, I'm back on what I considered the best home site on 1A, 24 acres, and I'm looking north to the rest of the property. It hooks all along the tree line and goes all the way to the end of the farm field in the distance. It's got quite an expansive 360-degree view from this property as I look west and then pan back around to the north and then back around to the east towards the Tetons. Parcel 1A, 24 acres. From this location on parcel 1B, 31 acres, I'm looking north from a little different perspective on a hilltop that the owner believes is the most attractive site on the whole property. It's got an incredible 360-degree view. It looks south where I am now to parcel 1B. (1A), and as I go counterclockwise around across the undulating farm ground comprising this 87 acres to the very next and last piece that we'll be visiting, parcel 2, approximately 31 acres. From this last location that I'm going to wrap up this video from, I'm looking east and I'm swinging to the southeast and looking across the entire property. You may be able to make out the hoof tracks of a herd of elk that came across the field within the last couple of nights. And you can see that the property from this point has a hilltop every bit as high as those two that are in parcels 1A and 1B, but yet this is a very, very private setting. The property to the north, and I'm going to swing back around to the east and then south. The property to the north is owned by a holding company, and it's approximately 400 acres. There's not a house built on it, and I'll be surprised if one gets built on it anytime in my lifetime. 87 acres, Badger Creek on the south, undulating, lush farm fields, no rocks, high productivity, between 80 and 100 bushels to the acre on this dry farm without irrigation. Mark Rockefeller, Teton Valley Realty, 208-351-1411.